Hey, thanks for showing up. So today we've got the DJI Osmo action camera. Now there's plenty of videos out there. You can get into a lot of specifics on splitting hairs. We're here to talk about me, and why I picked this camera and what I plan to use it for and why I picked this over a GoPro. So I've got some other GoPros and I've got the E-Lite, and you know it's been good, but it's been cantankerous at times where my audio and video tracks aren't lining up. So let's get into this. And well, I can't have that, you know. You want something that just works right when you want it to. I want to be able to download my movies off of it, everything I've filmed, and have it work first time, every time. So packaging's not too bad on this, you know. It's not GoPro packaging, no big clear plastic dome. So not too bad. It's got a little padded disc on there to help protect the lens of the camera. And then we have the piece de resistance, the camera. So let's get your protective films over it and everything. So we got there we go. The frame. Again, this is my first time opening it up, as you've seen. Oh yeah. It's a nice snug fit on the case. Just to the side real quick. Talk about the case. Case seems pretty well built, pretty sturdy actually, you know. Not flimsy like some where it's just like a wiry little piece of plastic, you know, and you're like, you know, if it wasn't for this being clamped around that, it'd break. Tabs on the bottom are pretty good. The buttons on it, nice. Real nice quality on this. Real nice attention to detail. So then we have the camera. Sans battery. No battery in this yet. That's in here. So yeah, it's a nice. So the lighter gray is a plastic. It looks textured. You would think from the pictures it'd be rubberized like the GoPros are rubberized all the way around. The darker gray down the middle here is rubberized. So just hit some buttons. Buttons have a nice feel to them. Yeah, not too bad. So let's get into this box a little more and dig in and see what we got. We got silica gel. Those are tasty snacks for later. And this white box, what could be in the white box? Except everything. Oh, look. Instruction manuals for midgets. We're not going to read those because who reads those? For more information, visit our website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, online store, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Not going to do that either. So, yeah. We've got a cable. Just going to tear into that. Oh. And a plug. Nope. There's our little wing nut. Now this is a little different than the GoPros. It's more like a wing nut where you just have two wings on it. So it's not the square, and it looks to be a little bit wider on it as well. So from what everybody says, you can get a lot more torque on this and tighten it down a lot easier than the GoPros, preventing you from having to have that tool as well to really crank down on it. So that should be pretty good. We got our charging cable here. Similar to the GoPro one, it takes USB Type-C, the new one. So about the same length, about the same size, fit and finish as the GoPro one. A little bit smoother finish than the GoPro cable, but hey, you know, it's a nice cable. It's USB-C, so you can pick these up really anywhere anymore. Ooh, nice little plastic box here. It says DJI on it. This should be the battery. And it is. Wouldn't you know it? So the battery is kind of what I like about this. There's no door. the battery just sits right up in here. If I can get this right the first time. Yeah, second time's charm. So it's got a nice silicone seal on it all the way around. Push it in and click it. You're sealed, you're waterproof, you're good to go. Let's see, there is some other little settings on it. Lock there for your battery. Release. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that battery's not gonna fall out on its own. So there's a tab on either side here to lock the battery in. Let's see. Power this bad boy up, see what we got. Language, English. Yeah, activate with DJI Mimo, or however you want to pronounce it. DJI MIMO. That's the app for your phone. So you'll want to get that because there's new firmware updates as of January 2019. I believe there was another one towards the end of 2019. So there's quite a few firmware updates. Well, quite a few, there's at least 2 out there, firmware updates that were done on this that I know of or have heard of. And they fixed some of the issues because you have a front-facing camera on this. And a lot of the reviewers talked about the lag. So you could look at yourself in the camera, go like this, and then you would see it in your front-facing camera go like that. So you could theoretically move yourself out of being centered on the camera. It's still better than just taking your GoPro and holding it up and hoping you're centered. But now, a lot of times I would use my GoPro because I have the Session 5 and I would link it to my camera on my phone. So I'm watching myself, but there's still that second lag. So if you hear me out there, I'm used to that 1 second lag. So no sudden jerky movements. I mean, if you're gonna move so far, expect to be out of the frame. So nice round lens on this. This is what's nice about this is you can screw this off and replace the lens. With the new GoPro Hero 8, you have to send it off to GoPro to have the lens replaced. The 7, you could replace it yourself. Prior GoPro models, you could replace the lens yourself. The new one, gotta send it in yourself. That's about all you can do yourself is package it up and mail it off and hope to get it back to you quick. So it's got a nice touch screen on it, decent size. I don't have an SD card in here. I'm not going to get into the settings on it. We'll do that off camera, make it quick for you. The GoPro has the tabs to flip out on the bottom. I wasn't a big fan of that. As soon as I saw that, I said, what if I break one of those? Now I got to find a foot. And you got to hunt around on the internet. They weren't just showing up all over the place. Granted, maybe it's not a piece that breaks all the time, but I'd rather have my feet separate. So, but one of the downsides again is there's no threaded insert on here for a tripod, whereas you know the E-Lite does have a threaded base for the tripod. So keep that in mind too when you're looking for them. But back to the firmware update. Yeah, the firmware update supposedly does fix the lag issues on the front-facing camera. So when you go like this, you're pretty much seeing yourself in live time, seeing yourself move like this. So that's cool. Hey, they made it better. I'm all right with that. There's a couple other things they added too, like a photo delay. So if you want to take a photo of yourself, you can set a 2 or 5 second delay. They fixed some time-lapse quality issues, not issues, they raised the photo quality to HDR on the time-lapse, and HDR, they improved on it with the update. So good stuff, right? So then we get into their mounts. I don't know so much that I'm going to use their mounts, except where I need to. It's pretty nice that they have a lock. Like it's not a, you know, good snap in there. You got a little button here. It's like, okay, cool. It locks in there. So I don't know that I want to buy more of these. I already have a ton of GoPro ones. My helmets and everything are already set up with the GoPro mounts. So these will probably get tossed to the side and used. Never. Rarely. But I'll tell you what, these are really built nice. This is a good quality plastic. It's not like the cheaper Chinese kits you get, and it's right up there with GoPro quality. GoPro does make quality items. I won't knock GoPro. That's one of the reasons why I was really looking at going with GoPro, was you can just plug and play, and there's so few issues with it. So that's something to consider too if you're going to look at going aftermarket on your cameras. You know, looking at, you know, some of the imports, if you will, like the Yi or some of the other action cameras out there. What support do you have? What kind of, you know, software is out there for it, and how well is it going to work once you get it downloaded on your computer? So the mounts are pretty nice. Not going to use them. I'm going to use the cage because I have to use the cage, but it's okay because I kind of prefer using the cage for whatever reason. I don't know, I just prefer using the cage over actually having, you know, the tabs on here, my GoPro completely exposed. Now the rock steady on here is another reason why. The footage is phenomenal. I'm sick of having a gimbal on there. It's 2 more batteries I have to make sure are charged up. 4 batteries if you want to have spares. So now you have 4 batteries for that. I got to carry spares in my pack. I got, you know, extra batteries for my action camera. I got to carry those in my pack. It's different chargers between the 2 of them. So it's just a lot more to carry around, a lot more to worry about. So with this, with the Rocksteady, or even with the GoPro, the image stabilization is awesome. Between the 7, the 8 on the GoPro, and the Osmo Action. Top notch. I mean, you're really splitting hairs to try and find a difference. So can you say one is better than the other? I don't think so. I've watched so many videos where they're pointing things out. It's like, this little bit might be a little better here, but that little bit might be a little bit better there. The main thing that I noticed with a lot of the videos, when they were untouched, unedited videos, straight from the camera, is I seem to like the overall picture quality of the DJI better. So the GoPro seemed to be a little bit deeper in color. I'm not a photographer, so forgive me if the words are a little wrong. So, you know, a little deeper, a little darker, richer maybe. But as soon as you hit the shadows, poof, you know, it was like, what happened to them? You know, it's, so for me, you're going through the woods and there's quick transitions and all, and the DJI seemed to be a lot more consistent with the picture quality of being able to see everything. And this is stuff you can fix in the editing, but come on, I mean, some of these videos take 8 hours or more to edit. Do you really want to spend that much more fixing your color saturation? I don't think so. I don't want to. So, but mostly for me, I'm going to shoot 1080 because that's how most people watch the videos, is 1080. And if you're watching on a cell phone right now or some sort of a mobile device, you're probably watching on 480 or less, because some of your carriers even cut it back. Maybe you're not on the best connection and you've got it cut back. So 4K is nice, but does your device even support 4K? So, but I have the ability to go to 4K. So if I'm going to go somewhere and do a nice epic ride, I can always cut it back to 1080, but I can record in that 4K. It's got the slow motion, which I don't bother. I do that in the editing room, in the editing process. So, but it's nice to have that. The time lapse, I might try something like that. But the options are there, and you can see these in the other videos that are out there. Like I said, there's a myriad of other videos out there reviewing these. But for me, it came down to the Rocksteady, came down to the front-facing camera, because like right now, I'm using my phone to record this instead of some of my other cameras, because I like being able to see and center myself. The GoPro, you can get a front-facing camera for, to the tune of $80 more. So as of right now, if I do a trade-in on, say, the Yi with the GoPro, it's going to be about $350 for the GoPro Hero8. This I got for $100 cheaper from Amazon. $100 cheaper. And it's got the built-in camera. This is it. They make an audio adapter now, so I can plug an audio adapter in and have a mic on here. I could do a whole vlog setup with this and be nice and compact if I wanted to, and not have another screen on top. So it'd be this camera, little box on the side, and a small Rode mic. How convenient is that? You can't beat that. So I can go around, film myself, do as I need to. I don't do a lot of vlogging like that though. But for me, the Rocksteady, the price, the DJI name, they stand behind their products. I mean, the quality's there, the build's there, so why not? DJI Osmo Action, it's my choice. We're gonna get into some ride footage. I'll do some, comparisons. If I can get the Yi to work as I need it to. I got my Session 5. I know that video quality is good. I can do some dual shots, and we'll see what we're up against as far as the GoPro versus that. We'll go from the 5, we'll go check out the Yi. They're both 1080 cameras, so we're not gonna focus on that too much. But we're gonna look at the 1080 on this though, and see how we like it. See how the clutter density works. Once I get out there with all the leaves, especially this time of year, with all the leaves being on the ground and it's just so much clutter going on, the camera really needs to do a lot of processing. So again, let's get into some ride footage and we'll see what we got. Again, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Partly cloudy today, so quite a bit of roots and chunk on this trail here. Sit down pedaling. Not trying to smooth out the camera shakes at all. Just letting that Rocksteady work. Fast spinning on the pedals. I have no wind socks or anything over the mics either. If any wind noise is coming through, it's just raw. All right. So there you have it. About all the trail footage you're going to get out of this for today. Ooh, yeah, it's a little sloppy out here. Had nothing but rain, nothing but rain. So. All right, so we're back in the car and we're headed home. Gonna get this footage downloaded, see what it looks like. So I was a little let down. The GoPro Session 5, it just didn't have a charge, but that's part of the problem with the Session 5. It doesn't have a removable battery, so that's a big upside to having something like an Osmo Action, or even the Yi Lite or a GoPro
you know, Hero 8 or a 7 where you have the removable battery packs. So, you know, thumbs down on the Session 5. But the Osmo Action, you know, keeps going, keeps going. It's been recording for quite a while now. The battery life has been pretty good on it. So we're going to head on back, get this footage downloaded, and see what we got.
So I hope that footage looked pretty impressive. I know it looked a lot better as I was checking it out. It looked a lot better than the Yi camera did. Now the Yi was in the case, but from my previous experience with my Yi camera, the footage looked a lot better. Plus it was a lot easier for me to work with from transferring it to my computer. And come to find out, they've stopped accessibility of the Yi cameras in the United States. I have contacted Yi, and they are looking to come back to the US markets with their cameras. But in the meantime, you're left with GoPro, DJI, or Sony and some others that are really getting a little long in the tooth, or some cheap Chinese knockoffs. And we've seen how those go with my Wish camera. You know, they're all probably about the same, and some others are really hit or miss. So the DJI did a really good job. The rock steady was spot on. And from what I really liked was I could have a camera where the chest mount was right here, or I could have a gimbal sticking out of my chest with the camera out here. I don't have to have this anymore. So I don't have to worry about having a gimbal, having the GoPro, having an extra set of batteries, having an extra charger. I've been out on a ride and said, oh, my gimbal batteries are dead, but my GoPro's good, or vice versa. I don't have to worry about this. We can eliminate that from the picture now. All I have to worry about is one camera, one charger, one battery. That's it. You can get aftermarket batteries for these. You can get batteries for these. Now, I have done some digging on these. Now, to get a replacement lens for a camera, that's pretty important. I've had my Yi where I've nicked the lens on it. And to get a replacement lens, you just basically buy a new camera at that point. And for the higher end ones where you're spending $200 to $300, it's nothing you really want to do is, oh, I'll just buy a new camera because I nicked the lens. The GoPro, the Hero8, you have to send back to GoPro to have it replaced. The older GoPros, the 7 and back, you can replace the lens. On the Osmo, $15. And it unscrews. No tools, it unscrews. I'm unscrewing it right now. I'm going to screw it back on. But $15. And you can get filters for it. You can get ND filters, magnetic, they clip on. You can get other filters. I couldn't tell you how they clip on. The magnetic ones seem to be the popular ones. The adapters that come with it, they're pretty nice, they're pretty robust, but there is no mount, there's no threaded mount. So if you wanted to use a selfie stick, you're still gonna have to go with a GoPro style threaded adapter, because again, there's no threaded mount. The cage for the DJI has the blades, so that'll work with the GoPro adapter mounts. I have no problem using any of the universal GoPro style mounts. They work just fine, because the bottom of the DJI Action is just the battery. So I have no problems with the battery. Comes in, comes out. And I found, or a lot of people's complaint with the SD card, where it doesn't want to come out. It's, oh, it sticks. No, after a few in and outs with it, it gets easier. Oops, not if you drop it. But on your SD cards, they have that little ridge on there. Well, basically, you break it in. So if you're familiar with firearms, you know, your magazines kind of stick a little bit, you know. You use it a few times, you take your gun to the range, you break it in. Well, with these, a few times in and out, because that's how I like to load it into my computer. I take the SD card out, because I got to open the door anyway to charge it. So I'm plugging the SD card into the computer. So you push it in, it pops out just that little bit. You take your fingernail, catch that ridge, it just slides out. So after the first few times, it just comes out a lot easier. It's not gotten loose or sloppy. It's just gotten to the point where it feels like it should. At least, in my opinion, how it should. Door, the build quality, everything on this. I've had this out on several rides. I've shot several videos with it so far. So this video's been a long time coming to wrap up for me. it's been great. Again, it works with all the different style GoPro mounts. It's been a wonderful camera. The footage has been great. If you've seen some of my videos where I've shot it in the shop here, there's a widescreen. I did do an action camera video footage. I didn't have my Rocksteady on. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a little clip of it, and it was horrendous. The video quality was phenomenal, but without the Rocksteady on, I was on a particularly choppy trail, lots of roots, and it just shook you to pieces. To go back over that trail with the Rocksteady, smooth as silk. But I digress. We're going to get along with this and end it. So if you liked the video, if you thought it was pretty good, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. That'll go a long way with getting me to my subscriber count. And have fun, stay riding, stay safe.